This is Garrett Fry, the 3D digital map painting sequence lead for the construction site sequence, and we're taking a look at shot 634. So let's go ahead and play that. So we start out over on the left and we pan over on the right here. And so for this shot, we have the direction that we're going to fill these empty areas in with construction site material. So we have some areas here, some areas here, some areas here, and all of those. And actually, we can do more stuff with this area over here if we wanted. And for this shot, it does look, maybe just a little bit like there's a lot of these. And so feel free to, chop out a section of these and put something else there. That seems like would be more applicable. So when you're going through the photo library, you can see what is going to look appropriate in this area and some things that would look appropriate. I mean, you look at all the tracks that are all throughout this. And so like some more earth moving equipment and stuff would be really appropriate if you could, kind of have like a really nice hero piece there of some, of different kinds of equipment would be really nice here. You can put some things that that are temporary, so like some wood pieces. If you can see over here, like this is a collection of different pieces, like they've put that off onto the side. This looks more like an area where they're just kind of dumping material. And this is the kind of active construction site where they're keeping it clear of things that are just kind of like absolutely necessary for this area. And so, so what you can do is you can kind of appropriate one of these areas right here to be more of this kind of like dumping ground. And so probably over here would be appropriate, or maybe over here on this side here, and then just kind of preserving this as kind of an active area for construction. So one thing I do want to point out to you is that this is a kind of a wet, semi-wet shot where it's just recently rained. You can see right here there is some there's some wet asphalt here, and so that kind of stuff you're going to want to put into the objects that you are that you're placing here. So let's say that you replace this area here with a big cement slab, and then on the cement slab you're going to be storing some boxes and some wood and that kind of stuff. And let's say that they've progressed beyond this this area here where they're putting in walls and things like that. Let's say they actually poured some concrete down and it's been dried, and so now they're storing a bunch of stuff on that. And if that's the case, then you're going to want to have it look a little bit like this, where you have some wet patches and some dry patches. And so if you go through the photo library, you're probably not going to find a lot of things that are wet. Maybe you can, but what you're going to want to do is change those images into something that looks wet, and that's kind of a cool exercise to be able to do that. Also, the things that you're placing in this environment are going to want to make sure that you are following the perspective. And this shot's really great because it has really strong perspective lines, and so it's a good exercise, and you can learn a lot about perspective by placing objects within the scene. Before you jump into your shot, it's a good idea to review the library of construction site materials. Do a bunch of quick matte painting tests by dragging photos into your shot and doing quick integrations. You will soon be able to discern the appropriate reference you should use for your shot.